Hey guys, back here with another video, and today I'm gonna review season 2 of Gotham. And just so you guys know, the first half of the video will be spoiler free. I will tell you when we get to spoilers. So yeah, let's go ahead and talk about season 2 of Gotham. This season is really good. I thought it had some improvement from the first season, because some of the characters I was really. Also, there will be some spoilers from season 1 if you haven't even seen that yet, which I'm pretty sure you have. But anyway, one of the characters I was really excited to see was the Joker. Like, when I saw him the first season of Gotham, even though he only appeared in one episode for that season, I just really wanted to see more because I thought he was a pretty good Joker, and he did pretty good in this season. But there were some stuff I didn't really expect to happen, and we're gonna talk about that in the spoilers. But yeah, I really like the Joker, and we get introduced to some new characters and some new villains. Some of the villains that made it into the show, I'm so happy that they put, which is actually one of my favorite villains of all time, and I'm not going to mention the villain yet, not until we get to spoilers, because I'm not going to ruin it for anyone. Yeah, let's talk about some of the cool characters like Lucius Fox. He was cool. We get some good character development, and we get some new character development with some of the characters from the previous seasons that might not have had that much character development, which is something I really liked. But honestly, I don't have any other spoiler-free stuff to say because I really want to get into spoilers. So just to break it down for you, season 2 is great. I highly recommend watching it. Go watch it now because Gotham is it's a pretty good show. But yeah, and as for the flaws, well, if you watch my review for the first season, I had this one flaw that bothered me, and it ended up showing up in this season as well. And again, I'm not gonna mention it for reasons, but yeah, that's like my only complaint. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and give my score, and I know this is becoming like so short for the spoiler free half of the video, and I'm so sorry because honestly I don't have anything else to say. This season's great. I think it might be my favorite one so far, unless I change my mind when I watch season 4, because season 4 premiered like I think about 2 weeks ago. But yeah, I'm gonna give this season a solid 9 out of 10. I would have easily given it a 10, but I think it's pretty fair for me to give it a 9 because it was a really great season because I really enjoyed it. But there were some there is some flaws I can talk about, but that would have to be saved for spoilers, which is what we're gonna head into right now. So you might want to click off the video if you have not watched the season yet of Gotham. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into spoilers. So number one thing we have to talk about, which just really made me mad, and I'm sure this might have made Famous City, which you should check out by the way, who's a huge Batman fan, and this might have made him mad as well. It's the fact that they killed off the Joker in like the third episode of this season. Ah, I mean, I don't know about you, but why, why, why? I don't get it. Why'd they kill him off? I don't understand. Like, that kind of made me mad because I honestly really wanted to see more of the Joker. Like, that's my one flaw for this season, is that I wish we had a few more episodes with the Joker, because they just freaking killed him in like the third episode of the season. But yeah, that's my one flaw I had with this season, because I really want to see more Joker, because I thought it was getting interesting until they just decided to kill him off for some reason, which I don't know why, but whatever. But let's talk about some other things. Let's talk about Bruce Wayne. Now, things get really, really good with Bruce in this season. Like, we get introduced to the Batcave, even though it doesn't become the Batcave yet. Oh yes, we have to talk about this one thing, and I'm sure you might know what that is that in this season, even though we didn't get to see it in the last one, but in this season, we finally have Bruce Wayne to finally confront his parents' murder, who is Matches Malone. That's his name? Wait. His parents' killer's name is Matches Malone? Wait a second. Shouldn't it be Joe Chill? Like, that's the Wayne's killer's name in the comics. Wait, is Matches Malone an actual character in the comics? But did they decide to change that? Like in the 1989 Batman movie where they decided to have Joker be the one that killed Batman's parents? I don't know, but whatever. It would have been cool to see Joe Chill on the show. But I really loved that episode. I mean, honestly, I give that episode a 10 out of 10 where he meets his parents' murderer, but he ends up not being exactly who he thought he was, because he's not really as bad as he might seem, and I really love that episode. Honestly, I think that's the best episode in this season. I mean, hands down, or that might just be my opinion, but I really loved it. Finally got to see that awesome stuff. So let's talk about what else is there to talk about. Oh yes, let's talk about Edward Nygma. And for those that don't know, he is actually the Riddler, and he does not become the Riddler yet. He doesn't become Riddler in this season, but we'll get to that soon. But we get some really great story and character development, because if you saw in the last season, he kills his crush's boyfriend because of how so jealous he was of his crush's boyfriend that she was dating a police officer instead of him, so he decides to just kill him. But now he's dating his crush finally, but he ends up killing her too. Yeah, that sucks. And then he starts to become friends with Penguin, which I thought was a cool thing until it kind of went a bit too far in the next season. Yeah, I'm not gonna talk about that for those that know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I really loved how they were building him up, because he was becoming the Riddler we all know and love today, even though he doesn't call himself the Riddler yet in the show. But yeah, that was really great, character arc. Talk about the main villain for the first half of the season, Galavan. Man, he was a pretty good villain. I mean, not great, but good. Because basically, this villain wants to kill Bruce Wayne because of how, I don't know, like thousands of years ago, Galavan's ancestor was his ancestors' family was one of the most powerful people in Gotham. And I apologize about that noise in the background you just heard. And the most powerful of them all is, of course, the Waynes. And the Waynes were bringing his family's pain. And so then he tries to kill Bruce Wayne. So then the Wayne family wouldn't be controlling Gotham anymore, which I thought was a really cool character arc. I wish it kind of lasted a bit more, but hey, it's probably one of those shows where they have one story arc for the first half of the season and then a new one for the second half. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I just wish we had more episodes, but yeah, it was still a cool story arc and villain overall. And now let's talk about the second half of the season. The villain, Hugo Strange. He was really good. That whole stuff where Bruce and Alfred learn about Pinewood Farms, which is let me see. It was a bioengineering program at Wayne Enterprises. And it's really cool how we learn that Wayne Enterprises owns Pinewood Farms. But the really interesting question was, who owns Wayne Enterprises? Well, I guess you'll have to figure out in the next season, which is where things get interesting there, but we're not there yet. But yeah, I really like the villains. And I really liked how Galavan came back to life, and I totally did not expect this because I'm not too familiar with the character of Azrael, because I got first introduced to him from Arkham City. But he became Azrael, and I thought Azrael was pretty cool. And also that whole, I wouldn't say twist, but that scene where Ed is who I'm going to call Riddler since he's not Riddler yet, finds that secret hidden laboratory underneath Arkham Asylum, which was really cool. And speaking of that, let's talk about one of my favorite Batman villains of all time, which happens to be the one and only Mr. Freeze. Oh my gosh, Mr. Freeze was so good. Like, they set up his character so well. Like, one of my favorite incarnations of Mr. Freeze is from the 90s animated series, because I really cared about that character in the show and that cartoon, and now I actually care about him in Gotham as well, and also from the Arkham games. But yeah, that's one character I was really excited to see, because I love Mr. Freeze. Just so awesome. Also, man, it caught me by surprise when we learned that Lee gets pregnant. And I don't know about you guys, but did any of you thought that when we learned that Lee got pregnant that their her child would, well, Jim and Lee's child would be Barbara Gordon? Am I the only one that thought that? I don't know, but sadly the baby died, which was sad. Also, I wasn't surprised to see this character again, but Fish Mooney, man, like, she came back from the dead with freaking powers. I mean, how cool is that, to have powers when you come back from the dead? So cool. Oh yeah, Firefly was cool, and Also, I love that one episode after he Bruce encounters his parents' killer, where he kind of leaves Alfred for a while to kind of explore the criminal underworld, which is I thought was really cool because like in Batman Begins, he leaves Gotham for like I think 8 years. He left Gotham and then comes back. So then he can explore the criminal underworld, and that's what they did in the show for a few episodes, which is something I also thought was really cool. Um, Also, I love that whole storyline where Ed tries to frame Jim. Man, that was so good. Like, yeah, Hugo Strange was a great villain, also known as the Philosopher, which I found to be a really cool name. I'm not sure if I should mention this in the next video, but the Secret Council, the people who control Gotham, man, honestly, I just love this group of villains now because they're probably one of my favorite supervillain groups of all time. Let's talk about one more thing. Um, that whole scene where Bruce and Lucius are like locked up in that room with Riddler. It reminded me of the Arkham games to where you have to do the Riddler challenges. That's something I thought was really cool. But yeah, honestly, I think that's it for the video, guys. So I do apologize if I didn't go in depth with this season. But that's just all my thoughts. So I hope you enjoyed my review on season 2. And soon I'm going to review season 3 of Gotham and the last 3 seasons of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. That will be coming soon. So I'll see you on the next video, guys. Peace.